Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yet it is another day, a bright Sunday, a day that the Lord has made that we should all be glad and rejoice in it. A day that is, the weather is so bright and sunny. Why don't you join us this afternoon? Presenting to you from Richmond Media Health Issues. Another episode, a topic that is important that so many of us are suffering from that we don't even sometimes recognize how it is affecting our daily lives. Today, this afternoon, the topic is depression. By the end of the program, we will understand what depression is, how to recognize depression, when we have to shout for help, when there is a need, and where to go for help. This afternoon, I have a beautiful lady with a big brain, a senior psychologist, clinical psychologist. And she is no other person than our lovely sister, Evelyn O. Agyapong. Sister Evelyn, you are welcome to Richmond Media.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for having me.
We do appreciate that the fact that how busy your schedule is, how busy Ghana is, and how enjoyable it is on Sundays, but yet you have saved time to spend time to teach us, to encourage us, to advise us, and to direct us what to do in times of depression.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
One may ask, what is depression?
Okay. Thank you very much. And thank you, your um, listeners of Rich Media. Yeah. Thank you very much for having me this Sunday afternoon. So, depression is one of the mental health conditions that people do battle with. Now, before I even give the definition for what depression is, I'd like my listeners to just get a brief overview of mental health. Okay. So
Sorry,
we
Sister
basically
Evelyn,
say,
hold on for me.
sorry.
It looks
Okay.
like the sun is, yes, yeah, this position
Okay.
is okay.
It's
Thank you.
better. Okay. All right. So just a brief overview of mental health before I delve into what depression actually is. So we say there is no health without mental health because we've realized that for some years now or decades now, people have been um, they've been sidelining issues of mental health. People can walk to a hospital facility to do a thorough checkup physically and neglecting the aspect of their mental health. But then with WHO definition, as in with World Health Organization's definition of what health really is, it says that, if I'm paraphrasing, it doesn't mean just the mere absence of disease. So I can't say I don't have any headache, my tummy is not aching me, I'm not having any joint pains, and for that matter, I am physically fit or I am healthy. To be healthy totally, it should encompass the physical aspects, the emotional and psychological aspects, which we have really relegated to the background, and even the spiritual aspects. And so we say that there is no health without mental health because we also believe that whatever behavior or actions we put in place or we undertake, the basis is on our thinking, right? So if I sit here, immediately you see me sipping water or juice or eating food, where did it come from? I got that signal from my brains, okay, because it told me I'm thirsty and so I need to drink. I'm hungry, so I need to feed. And so we really place much emphasis on what we think. So the mental health is very key when it comes to our health, and that is what we are advocating for. That in as much as people go out there freely to do thorough checkup, take labs, do scans and all that, they should also assess their psychological well-being or the mental health aspect of their lives. So now, coming down to what depression is, as earlier mentioned, I said it's one of the mental health conditions, and it is characterized by a persistent sadness and loss of interest in activities, okay, which previously a person enjoyed doing. And all these are accompanied by one's inability to carry out the normal daily functionings. So, like seeing the need to wake up from bed in the morning because you have to go to work, seeing the need to personally groom yourself before you step out there, and doing all these daily functionings. This is what depression really means. That is also not to say, I said that persistent sadness. So you can feel sad. It's normal to feel sad, especially when you lose a loved one, when you are misplaced, or you are sacked from office or from your job, when you encounter any life crisis or stresses in life. It is normal to feel sad. But then when this sadness persists for a longer time, mostly after 2 weeks, and you realize that this sort of sadness is having a toll on you, and so you are not able to perform your daily functioning as you used to be, then we should be worried. We should say that, or we will advise that you seek help so you get depression. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sister Evelyn. That is, the in-depth understanding of whatever someone will be able, or how further someone will be able to go to give us the definition of depression. So if you are watching us this afternoon and it says persistent. So when you continuously feel day by day, and if you observe yourself, you have even already hit the 2 weeks or gone beyond the 2 weeks, then you know that there's something wrong somewhere that you need to watch out for. So what are some of the causes? What are some of the causes that we will be able to identify or know that we are getting depression, or some of the causes that we can get that will alert us that it is coming from that point in terms of
Okay,
depression?
thank you. So for the causes of depression, we say that there isn't a single cause for it. It's mostly combination of factors. Okay, so we can have external factors. We can also have internal factors. Mostly the internal factors have to do with one's genetic predisposition, and so it's possible that in my family history there is someone, or there are some people who are battling or who might have battled with the condition before. I am likely to get it too if I don't take care, or if I don't assess how I cope with issues. I'm likely to get depression. And then some medication intake as well. It could be that you are taking some medications which are not prescribed, or even if it's prescribed, remember every medication has its side effects. So maybe you are taking a medication to treat a particular condition, and as a result of that medication, its side effects, you can also get depression. And that is also to advise people out there that there is a need to take only prescriptive medications or prescriptive drugs. Okay, because once you are taking a medication, knowing the side effects, your prescriber can advise you further as to what to do. But then, if you just walk out there and get something to take, if you are getting these side effects, you are unlikely to seek the right expert to advise you on what to do with such things. And then there could also be hormonal, changes or hormonal imbalances that could also make one be at risk of getting depression. So internally, we can be predisposed because there might be a family history of it, and then the issue of side effects of some medications, and then hormonal imbalances that can predispose someone or let someone be at risk of getting depression. Now, with the external factors, these are things that happen in our daily life or daily routine. It could be that we've been abused before, okay, and that's thought or the recurrent thoughts of the issue or the event can trigger us or can lead us to be depressed because we worry about it. We are able to reminiscent the issue as and when as it did happen, and all the troubles that went with it. We are likely to get depression. And then the issue of being unemployed, you know, if you are unemployed, how do you feed? How do you fend for yourself? And if you happen to have a family, how do you fend for them as well? And so, just overthinking about your unemployment status can also lead you to get depression. And then relationship issues, having breakup either in marriage, whether in dating or courtship, whatever relationship you may have, if okay, or tell you that now it's time you go your separate ways. That can also plunge you into having depression, work overload, be it at the workplace or in school. So in school, if you have a piled up of books that you have to study, you have piled up assignments that you have to complete, that workload can also lead you to get depression. Poverty is also one, being traumatized, um, finding yourself lonely, or feeling that you are always all alone, or being isolated from other people. These things can also cause you to get depression.
Thank you so much, Sister Evelyn. I can't stop thanking you. And to our viewers and listeners, whoever is watching us this afternoon, we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and it's also on radio as well. Please call your friend, call your family members together, gather yourself together, and let's all have our share from this program because this is very important. Because if you know the number of people that are being affected with depression, you'll be running around to chase everyone to come and listen to this program. Please share a comment and we will acknowledge you. At this moment, Brother Akon George says, good afternoon, Brother Akon, for always saving time for us every Sunday. May God continue to bless you as you continue to contribute to this program called Health Issues at Richmond Media. Sister Evelyn, so what are, now that we know the causes, what are the symptoms of depression?
Okay, so for the symptoms of depression, we earlier on said persistent sadness. And so you realize that this person is almost all the time seen in a very moody state. The person is not happy. Um, Showing, I mean, it will be shown in facial expression. So the person is sad most of the time. And then we also have something we call anhedonia, where which will we will translate as um, so losing interest in activities you previously had interest in. So if I was a fan of football, I liked watching football, sitting around with friends, making all the noises you can think of. But all of a sudden, you see me now. I can't be watching football, but then I wouldn't have show any interest. Okay, in the football that I'm watching, or even if comments are being passed, I'm not contributing. Virtually, my mind is not even on what is being shown on the telly. That could also let me other people know that I am probably getting depression or I'm depressed. So, losing interest in activities you initially or previously had interest in. And one of the signs too could be significant weight loss or weight gain. It's two things. Either the person is gaining weight or losing weight. So during depression, one is likely to eat more. And definitely, if one eats more, it will manifest in weight gain. And on the other hand too, one probably may lose appetite, and so wouldn't find food or wouldn't like to eat food. And so if I'm not eating well too, I'm going to lose weight. So it's either you are eating more or less, gaining weight, or um losing weight. Yes. And there are also changes in the one's sleeping pattern. And so one is likely to sleep more, or one is likely to sleep less, which will also affect the person's daily functioning. Then there is also the issue of feelings of worthlessness, feelings of hopelessness, thinking that you are of no value, you are of no use to anyone. And most times, when it's hitting to that level, that is where you sometimes have suicidal thoughts. And so at a point in time, the thought probably might alert you that, I mean, once you are feeling like this, why not end it all? Okay. So you will be free so that everyone won't bother you. And so having these feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness could also be, or is also a sign of someone who is depressed, or someone who is in depression, I mean, states. And then the issue of feeling sick all the time. So at all points in time, that person will be complaining of aches, pains, feeling joint pains here and there, almost all the time on daily basis. It's possible that as a result of the person's inability to have enough good rest, that is also, I mean, leading the person to have such complaints. And at a point in time, if you are not sleeping, definitely you might be thinking of something. And so most times the people come tell me that they sleep when they get up around 11 a.m. They are unable to sleep. My question is, what do you do then? So after 11 that you are unable to sleep, what are you doing? And they go like, oh, we won't be doing anything. That is not the truth. Definitely you set your mind on, I mean, thinking on something. So once you are giving your mind some work to do, it will hardly sleep. Okay. And so now that we know that if you are definitely going to have some form of rest, that time is the time your mind is also going to be at rest. And so if you are unable to sleep, you might probably be thinking of something, or your mind is probably set on something. That is why you are not having the needed sleep that you have. And then when you're also depressed, one other sign is seeing no need of personal hygiene. I earlier on, during the definition of depression, I said that when you have these persistent, I mean, um, sadness, it also affects your daily functioning. And as part of what you do on daily basis, you are supposed to keep well, eat well, exercise, go to work, come back home, engage in one or two house chores and all that. And so if you are depressed state, you don't see the need to undertake all these activities, these daily or routine activities in your life. So these are just some of the signs and symptoms we can say can be found in someone who is depressed.
Thank you so much. It's more than enough. I can challenge you on that. Thank you for that in depth understanding that you have, and that's why you are able to transfer it to us as well. Um, what are or how many types of, I didn't even know that there are types of depression. So, if there are, how many types have we got and what are they, please?
Okay, so depression under the DSM-5. So depression is categorized as one of the mood disorders. And for mood disorders, we can also have bipolar, then the cyclothymic, the dysthymic depression as well. And so for depression, we can have a major depressive disorder. And for major depressive disorder, we can have the melancholic type, we can also have the psychotic type, and then the perinatal depression. So for major depressive disorder, we have these three types that fall under it. For perinatal depression, it is mostly experienced during pregnancy. or 12-month period after giving birth. And so after delivery, we find most women being hospitalized in psychiatric units because they are having, most times you say, postpartum depression or puerperal depression as a result of what they are going through. And then with the psychotic type of depression, it's also a form that involves symptoms of psychosis. So for someone who is psychotic, they mostly hallucinate. They are mostly deluded. So having delusions, having hallucinations, having suspicions of something, suspicious that maybe someone is out there to harm him or her, which we mostly call paranoid. Okay. So for the psychosis or the psychotic depression, they have these symptoms. And then for the melancholic type of depression under the major depressive disorder, this is the severe form of depression where lots of the physical symptoms we have already made mention of are experienced, like the frequent headaches, the pains, and then the aches, having anhedonia, so losing interest in previously um, activities that you found enjoying. So for the major depression, these are the three types that we can have: the melancholic, the psychotic, and then the perinatal type of depression. Now, the other aspect of depression is also the persistent depressive disorder. With this one, the symptoms of it are similar to the previously mentioned one, the major depression. But then these symptoms are less severe. But in as much as they are less severe, they last much longer. Okay. So sometimes they last for even more than 2 years. So you will see that within a period of 2 years, this person might be exhibiting depressive signs and symptoms. But then the severity is not so high, not so intense as someone who has the major depressive disorder. So basically, these are the types that we can have. But remember that I said for depression, for at least 2 weeks, the person might have had this persistent sadness that is also having a toll on him or her, affecting his daily functioning.
Thank you so much, Auntie Evelyn. We really appreciate the fact that you have time for us this afternoon. To our viewers, we cannot stop thanking you because without you, who would we be talking to? It's you, the reason why we are here. So we appreciate you. But at this moment, I want you to know that this program, Health Issues, and the topic is depression, is coming to your doorsteps from Richmond Media. No other station or media platform will be able to bring you important program like this, depression. Why don't you at this time share the link, call your friends and family, and ask them to come and join you on this platform so that we all benefit from it together. Brother Owusu Bequin says, Good afternoon. Good afternoon, brother, for joining us this afternoon. We really appreciate you. To all our viewers, please just send us a comment so that we will be able to acknowledge you. We will be able to identify you if you don't send us any comments. Whoever is watching us this afternoon, wherever you are watching us, from the whole world, where America, Ghana, UK, South Africa, Nigeria, Netherlands, Belgium, Hamburg, which is Germany, and Canada. That I know. Whoever is watching us this afternoon, we really appreciate you at this moment. So, Auntie Evelyn, we continue our program. Um, is there any strategic way of coping with depression at all?
Um, Strategic way of coping with depression. So for this particular question, I would like to take it from two angles. Okay, so for the victim or for the client or for the one suffering from depression, and then the aspect has to do with the relatives, okay, or the people around the one who is suffering from depression. And so, strategic way to cope with depression. For the one who is in that state, you need to talk to someone, not just anybody, but then a trusted person. Because I bet you, if I'm having a problem, I come and share it with you, Nana Bimah. And before I say Jack, I'm hearing it on Rich Media.
Richmo.
It includes Rich More, yes. Okay, sorry. I will definitely lose interest or I'll lose trust in confiding in anyone again. And so, in as much as we advocate or we advise that you talk to someone, make sure that person is a trusted person, someone you can trust, someone who wouldn't go about sharing your information or your issues with anybody. Of course, the person may not be able to help you with what you really need, if it's in kind or in cash. But sometimes the word of motivation to encourage you to even take the necessary steps will go a long way to help you. And so for the one who is in this state or who is having problem with this particular topic that we are dealing with this afternoon, find a trusted person and talk to the person. And then another point too is you need to learn how to distract or challenge your negative self-talk. We all self-talk to ourselves at one point or the other.
That's
Everybody, yes. But then um the self-talks are in two folds. So it can be positive, it can be negative. If I sit out here and tell myself bad things, demoralizing me, not encouraging myself with with good things, definitely I'll be sad, right? And once I'm sad, it will also manifest in my daily activities because I won't find interest in engaging in any particular behavior. And so we mostly even say that depression is kind of a cycle thing because once you get those thoughts, it will definitely affect your feelings. And that will also directly affect your actions. And then it will come back to your thoughts again. So it's a kind of bit of a cycle. And so try as much as possible to distract the negative self talk. The mind can sometimes be very deceptive. So distract yourself with any activity, you find around your surroundings. So you can decide to be listening to music if you're a lover of music. If that is what you want to use to distract yourself from thinking unnecessarily, resort to it. You can resort to meditating, praying, maybe taking a stroll, sometimes playing games or maybe on your phone or having a chat with someone. Any activity you find worthwhile, depending on where you stay, depending on your environment, engage more on those activities so as to distract yourself from having or engaging in any negative self-talk. And then sometimes you can also challenge the negative self-talk. So if it tells you this, you can also, a bad thing, challenge that negative thing. So for example, let's say I don't know so much about your place, but let's say I've been out of work for many years now. I'm in search of a job now and I got an interview. Now from my place or from my residence to the job place, it's roughly an hour drive. So I decide to set off early. Let's say I'm told that the interview is at 9 a.m. And so because there isn't any traffic on that route, I decide to set off at 6. So roughly by 7, I can be there, rest, relax before the time is due for me to be engaged in the interview. Now I set off, and that is the only route. There is only one route from my residence to the job place. And so I set off. But then in the middle of the road, we got stuck. No car moving, no car, no car coming, no car going, because there is a big log of tree that has blocked the road. Then we stayed on there waiting for a miracle to happen, maybe for those government officials or whatever to come take off that tree so we can move. We stay on there, and before we realize, it's almost 9. Remember, I said the interview is at 9. Now we are still there. No one is there to take off that big tree. Then before I checked again and I realized it's 9:35. When indeed the interview is at 9. So at that point in time, you get lots of things going through your mind. Probably one part telling you to just go back home because you've lost. You are not going to be interviewed because you'll be late. Another part probably might also be telling you, even if you go, they won't allow you because they probably will query you or they will say all sorts of things to you. Another part you can tell you, don't go because it's a waste of time. By now they've even closed. So it's better you go back home and sleep. Now, if I decide to um listen to these talks, I definitely will go back home. But here is the case we are saying you need to challenge those negative self talk. So just keep telling yourself that no matter what, you will go. You will wait till that log of tree is taken off the road. Now I decide to challenge mine, so I stay on. So they came and then took away that tree. Now I went on to the interview, I mean the job place, and I realized that I was late because it was even past 10. When I had been told that it's at 9. So I got there at 10 something and I realized I'm having so many options to choose from. One, it's possible that even though it's after 10, I got there late, but I was also told that they are still waiting for some of the panelists because they're also not around. So it's not started yet. Am I not lucky? I could also get an opportunity to be told that, oh, Evelyn, your name was mentioned earlier on. Okay, now that you are in, you probably will be the last person. That's also another opportunity for me to be interviewed, right?
That's
Uh-huh.
true.
And for I can also go there, and the last opportunity will be that, oh, the interview has been rescheduled. So there's a new date. Hallelujah. So in most of these instances, we may need to learn how to challenge sometimes the negative self talks that we engage in. Else, we may not be able to take any fruitful step. Because here is the case, if you want to undertake any activity or you want to embark on any activity, the negative part of you keep telling you not to do it. Meanwhile, if you had done it, something positive might have come out of it. So for the one who is depressed, learn to challenge your negative self-talk, learn to distract the negative self-talk, learn to talk to a trusted person, eat well, have a routine whereby you say that move from morning around this time to this time, I'll be engaged in this. From this time to that time, I'll be doing this. Have this routine to help you so that on daily basis, if you are missing out on a routine, then you yourself will be able to know that no, there is something wrong somewhere, so you need to seek help. And then try as much as possible to get adequate sleep and laugh, make humor. Yes, everyone is under pressure, but sometimes make fun out of life. That can also be of help to you. Now, getting back to the relatives who might be seen with someone who is depressed, some of the strategic ways we can use to cope with it is self-care. We also need to take care of ourselves. In as much as we are taking care of these people having this, if we don't take care, we might also at the end of the day help them in their treatment, but we will plant ourselves in same condition. And so we can also begin that. Now we can also do these basic things to help with the person who is depressed. We need to keep an eye on them, okay? Because the next minute, if they are not here, you never can know where they will be. Possibly they've been withdrawn for so long a time. They always keep to themselves, isolating themselves from the rest of us. If you don't keep an eye on them, that minute that your eyes are taken off, they might have done something terrible, which we will all regret. And then we also need to engage them in constant conversation. Don't leave them alone. Anytime you see them sitting alone, it's possible something is going on through their minds or something they are thinking about something. Try to distract them by engaging them in constant education. Advise them on the need to seek expert advice. Keep encouraging them and be willing to listen to those people without judging them. Please, if you want to help out someone who is in this state, learn not to be judgmental. Just give them the listening ear, and that will help a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Evelyn or Agyapong. At this moment, I would like us to see our brother. He's been quiet behind, you know. I've not introduced him yet. Mr. Uzansa, you are welcome to Richmond Media. You are muted. We can't hear you. You are muted.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was saying today too has been a very insightful discussion.
That's
Thank you for
true.
the help.
That's true. Sorry for keeping you behind there. We have so many comments coming up. So at this moment, we will acknowledge our viewers as well. Um, Jacqueline says, thanks, Evelyn, having low mood or sadness, feeling hopeless and helpless, having low self esteem, feeling tearful for long, will think this is depression. As humans, sometimes we will feel like this. So it's a sort of question that she is asking you, Auntie Evelyn. So you will come on that. Hannah Bimah, that's me, but in a shadow. Obrimpon is shadowing me. So it's really interesting meeting about depression, giving us all the emojis, and then he said it's also really nice program. Thank you, Obrimpon, for acknowledging the program. Jacqueline continued to say that to add to my question above, for how long will I notice that I am having depression? So, Auntie Evelyn, I will let you answer that one, or if Mr. Uso answer has something to say about it, you can also come up as well. So, any one of you that is ready can go
Oh,
for Linda's question. Yeah,
okay. So before Max comes on, so I earlier said that you might have experienced these signs and symptoms for at least 2 weeks. Okay. Now, with depression, the earlier question Jacqueline asked, yes, it's normal sometimes to feel these signs that you listed. So low self-esteem, feeling worthless or helpless. It's normal to feel those things, especially when you are going through some form of crisis or when you are hit by sudden loss of a loved one, or you are having these stresses in life. It's normal to go through them. But then at the end of the day, one is supposed to get back on track. So it's like so losing a loved one. So I lose a loved one and then I'm able to mourn the person for days, for weeks. That is fine. Because for all you know, the person was everything to me. So I will mourn the person for some time. But then at the end of the day, we want to see you back on track, you being your normal you. So in a case where after the loss, you've mourned this person for months, at least 6 months, and here we see that this person is now not of, I mean, of himself or herself, because the loss of the loved one has had a very big toll on him or her. Now he is not even motivated to go to work. He's not encouraged to talk to people. You talk to him or her and he is not showing any kind of enthusiasm or he's not happy. Then it's possible something is wrong somewhere, and that is where you may have to seek help. So normally when you are hit by any stressor in life, you definitely have these um, signs or these moods. But at the end of the day, one is supposed to get back on track and then engage in the normal activities the person used to. So, like one of the signs which I said, the anhedonia, so losing interest in previously active interest that you had. If at first I was a football fan, now because of the my unemployment status or because of the loss of a loved one, I've lost interest in football. When with time, I'm supposed to get back on track as in be be active with those activities again. But if for a while I'm still not happy with what I used to be happy about, what I used to have interest in, then I should be worried about it and then seek the right help. Maybe Maxwell can come in here.
Thank you. Before Maxwell comes in, please, Brother George Osube Queen says, yes, I'm listening to this program out of my depression mood. Thank you, Auntie Evelyn. So, by Auntie Evelyn,
Mm.
that's to you. Thank you so much. And then we have Tai Muhammad, my dear friend, says, good afternoon, beautiful ladies. Nice topic. At that time, it was only ladies on. So now that Mr. Ozansan has joined and a
Yeah,
handsome gentleman, she's aware. She's in Amsterdam at the moment, but so, trying her best to join us. So we do appreciate the fact that she is still with us. And then Jacqueline says, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Negative thoughts can destroy our opportunities. That's true. And then Brother Akon says, very, very important aspects you have tackled. Rela- tackle relative or family or caretaker being involved positively in the coping mechanism. And Brother Akon continued to say that because they are one of the people that can even worsen someone's depression. So
yeah.
they've been involved in positive care is best. They being involved in positive care is best. Thank you so much, Brother Akon. Now, Mr. Usansa, back to you. What did you wanted to add? Looking at the way things are going, we are not going to finish this program today. We will continue next week by God's grace if the team are happy to come on. But we will discuss that later. But it looks like we cannot finish today. Yeah, please, Mr. Usansa.
Okay, so quickly to add on, with Jacqueline's question, I believe it has been answered by Sister Evelyn. What I wanted to add onto it was the coping mechanisms, and I just want to read a very lovely quote from this lady that I have been quoting from. It is from the manuscripts of Ellen G. White.
Hmm.
She wrote this in 1903 to her son. And then this is what she wrote. It's very, very insightful. It says, with the continual change of circumstances, changes come in our experience. And by these changes, we are either elated or depressed. But the change of circumstances has no power to change God's relation to us. That is, once you believe or you see these symptoms and then you are affected by them, it doesn't change the fact that you are a human. You know, it doesn't change your humanity. So if you have that at the back of your mind that okay, there is a problem, there has been a problem, and then it has affected my routine functions, my activities of daily living, I am affected. It is causing a problem. Maybe probably it might affect my work, my finances, my relation to people. That doesn't change the fact that you are still a human. And so you should have that courage that yes, it has happened, but then you are a human and then you have to live, you have to live. And then with that, you can be motivated to see a healthcare professional. So that is what I wanted to add, that depression, though it affects us mostly in every way of our life, doesn't change the fact that we are humans. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. At this moment, I would like us to have a commercial break. We've taken too long to bring it in, but we will still find a way to push it in. At this moment, if you are sending money to Ghana from wherever you are, I recommend you to download OA Pay. OA Pay is a money transfer company that sends money to Ghana. Is it a school fees? Is it for feeding or hospital bills? Is there a project that you are embarking on that you want money to support it, that you don't know what to do and how to send the money? It is simple. OAP. Use a coupon RICHMO, RICHMO, and you'll get £7 ship from it. Umpe we na wo pedie. Onia, pay me and I will pay you straight away, and your family members will call to testify that indeed it is a good service and they have received the money just as you sent it. You don't need to pay anything extra. It's free. So please try us today, and then you can come and testify on this platform the goodness that comes with OAP. Thank you so much for watching us this afternoon. Wherever you are, I always want you to know that Richmo is having a promotion. That's if you watch 50 of our videos and ask 50 people to subscribe to this platform, you have the chance of winning a laptop. If you watch 40 of our videos and ask 40 people to what to subscribe to this channel, you have the chance to win a mobile phone. And the third prize is a hamper. Only you will be able to tell us what is in the one. You have to ask 30 people to subscribe, and you also watching 30 of our videos. The next one is 20 people to subscribe, and you also watch 20 of our videos. And the hamper, you'll be able to tell us. The last and not the least, ask 15 people to subscribe, and then you too watch 15 of our videos, and you have the chance of winning a very beautiful hamper with goodness in it. You will be able to tell us. Why don't you try? Why don't you screenshot the video, every video that you watch, and send it to 079605689295? And if you are watching us from outside UK, it's +44 79605689295. Thank you so much, Auntie Evelyn. I will let you and Mr. Owusu answer to sum up how far we have been from what the depression is, the causes, signs and symptoms, and strategic way of coping with depression. And the rest, I'm very sure we have to come again positively or possibly by next week if there is a chance. So the floor is yours, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much too. So basically we've been talking about depression, but we initially had an overview of mental health, and we're saying that our mental health is key in as much as we take steps to take care of our physical health. We should also be mindful of the mental health, which has been relegated to the background for so long a time, because we believe that any behavior we put up has the basis on our thinking patterns. If you think rightly, you will have positive or good feelings, and then it will also manifest in your activities or in your behavior. If you think negatively about yourself, that will also directly affect your feelings and then your behavior. And then we are saying that depression happens to be one of the key mental health conditions people battle with, but there is help. It can be treated. I'm sure maybe in our next session we will go to that. And so if you are depressed, please don't feel ashamed. Don't feel shy to seek an expertise advice, professional advice. If you happen to live with someone who is also battling with depression, please give a listening ear to the person. Don't judge the person. Let the person know what to do, and keep motivating and encouraging such a person. In all of these, we are saying that the duration varies and it's influenced by severity, the treatment, and individual factors. And so, in as much as depression is caused by several factors or combination of the factors we already made mention of, you can't be treated. And so, seek help. We are there for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ansah.
Okay, so all problem solving come about firstly by acknowledging that there is a problem. So if you follow what she said, the signs and symptoms, and then those affecting your daily activities over a period of time, say for 2 weeks and over, though it varies. If you acknowledge that there is a problem, then you would be motivated to take action. So we shouldn't lay back. There most of us who, regardless of knowing that there is or there has been a problem, will never tend to accept that that has happened. So we should keep our eyes out, looking out for those signs and symptoms, and then when we realize that, we should then note that there has been a problem somewhere that we need action taken, and so we should seek the help of our healthcare providers and then professionals in such regard. So acknowledging that there is a problem would actually go a long way to help us.
Thank you so much, Sister Evelyn. Oh, Agyapong. It's nice to have you on this platform. And to Mr. Ansah, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. To our beautiful and handsome viewers, we cannot stop thanking you for making it possible for this program to come on by watching us, sending your comments. What is so lovely than this? We really appreciate you for joining us every week. And until the same time next week, health issues, once again, at 1500 UK time. And then you can convert it wherever you are. Please meet us again. But don't go, because we have a second program coming to you right to your doorstep from the beginning. Thank you so much, and God bless all of us. Bye-bye for now.
Cristo